Hello and welcome all to my YouTube channel Azure Beyond Demos. My name is Kunal Chandratre and we are going to discuss today about Azure VM Hibernation. In this video, I will talk about what is VM Hibernation, then what is Azure VM Hibernation, in which scenarios you will use hibernation capabilities that we will discuss. How do I enable Azure VM Hibernation feature on the Azure portal? We will have a demo of it. Then what is the cost of it? We will understand some real world questions on Azure VM Hibernation as a feature, and then we will close. So let us start. VM Hibernation is a feature that allows you to pause a VM and save its current state to disk. So you can resume it later from where you left off without losing progress. It is similar to putting your laptop into hibernation mode instead of shutting it down. Imagine you are working on a long document on your laptop. If you shut down, all open applications will close and you will have to restart everything next time. But if you hibernate, your laptop saves everything, open files, application settings, and everything, and then it turns off. When you turn it back on, everything resumes exactly as before. Similarly, with VM hibernation, you can pause a running VM, save its memory and state to the disk, and later restart it without needing to reload the application or redo the same work. You might have seen sleep option in your Windows 11 laptop. So is laptop sleep option same as hibernate option? No. So in sleep mode, it saves your work in RAM and puts the laptop in a low power state. The laptop stays on but uses very little power and wakes up instantly when you press a key or move the mouse. But if battery runs out, then you may lose the unsaved work. But in Hibernate, your work is saved on the hard drive or the disk and then shuts down the virtual machine. It uses zero power while hibernated. It takes longer to start up compared to sleep option, but it restores everything as it was. And even if the battery dies, your work is safe. Azure VM Hibernation allows you to pause VMs that are not being used and save on compute cost. It's an effective cost management feature. Example scenarios are Azure Virtual Desktop, dev test servers, and other scenarios where the virtual machines don't need to run 24 by 7, or applications whose startup takes long time as it loads everything into the virtual machine memory. So in this case, you can let application load everything in memory and then hibernate. So next time onwards, you don't have to wait for longer startup times and use these pre-warmed VMs quickly when needed with the applications already up and running in the desired state. Example of such applications are CATIA, AutoCAD like 3D design softwares, video editing softwares like Adobe Premiere Pro, IDE like Android Studio, games with lot of preloaded content like GTA, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and so on. Hope this gives you an idea where hibernation will be helpful. Well, let us see how do you enable hibernation while creating a new Azure VM. So I am on the VM creation page, and as you can see right now, the enable hibernation button is disabled. This is because not all virtual machine sizes are supported for hibernation. The sizes that support hibernation are DASV5, then DAD SV5, then DSV5, then DSV5, and similarly same series for EV5 as well. So these are the sizes that are supported. So now let us change the size to supported one. So I click here and I click on see all sizes, and let's select the DV series, and let's say I choose D2ASV5, and select it, which is AMD series. And then now you can see here that hibernation has been enabled. Okay. Does it support only Windows? No, Linux is also supported. So if I select Ubuntu uh, and I make sure that if the security type is standard, then hibernation with Ubuntu operating system is also supported. What we have seen is enablement of hibernation on creating a new VM approach. Now, can I enable the hibernation on existing Azure VM? Now let's look at the portal on screen where I have a pre-created VM. Now, if I look at the size of this VM, this particular size is already supported for hibernation. However, the hibernate button is disabled. So hibernation feature enablement from the portal is not supported as of today. You have to use either PowerShell or CLI or REST API. The commands to enable hibernation on existing VM are here on my screen. I will paste this link into the description box. So you can run these commands either from Azure Shell from the portal or from your laptop if it is installed on your machine. I'm not running it. You try it and let me know in case you face any difficulty. All right. Now let's look at some real world questions. So the first question is, if I hibernate from guest operating system, means I take RDP SSH inside Azure VM and then perform the hibernate. Is it supported? You can only hibernate a VM using Azure Portal, CLI, PowerShell, SDK, and API. Hibernating the Azure Virtual Machine using guest operating system uh, don't result in the VM moving to a hibernated state, and your VM will continue to be built. There will be cost associated to that for the compute also. It is similar to an operation where you shut down the Azure virtual machine from inside the OS. In that case, it is not into stopped deallocated state, so you are fully charged for the compute hours as well. Same is the case with Hibernate. So when you hibernate VM from inside the operating system, it will continue to be built. Can I modify VM like attach or detach disk size changes or NIC changes? No. So virtual machine must be moved to stop deallocated state and then you can make the changes. Now, can I change the size of VM when it is hibernated? You can resize VMs that have hibernation enabled, but not when the VM is in the hibernated state. The VM should be either in running or stopped state, and then you can change the size of it. What is the cost of hibernation feature? There is no extra cost for using this feature. When your VM is hibernated, it is just like stopped deallocated state. So you will be charged only for network and storage resources. Only compute cost will not be applicable. Now there are few more limitations. For that, I will recommend you to go through the existing link that I pasted into the description box. All right. That's pretty much about hibernation of Azure VM. Thanks for watching this video. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe because this is not my channel. This is our channel. And thank you. Have a nice day ahead.